Nokia once ran the global mobile phone market. For more than a decade, Nokia was the most powerful company in mobile technology. Its devices were everywhere, in pockets, in offices, and in homes across the world. At its peak, Nokia was not just a phone maker, it was the default. Entire markets were built around Nokia hardware. Carriers depended on it. Consumers trusted it. Competitors measured themselves against it. So when Nokia collapsed, many assumed the explanation was obvious. Smartphones arrived. Apple changed everything. But that explanation oversimplifies what actually happened. Nokia did not fail because it missed the smartphone transition. It failed because its scale made adaptation structurally difficult. Nokia's dominance was built on operational excellence. The company mastered hardware manufacturing. It optimized global supply chains. It released phones at a pace few competitors could match. Nokia could design, produce, and distribute devices across dozens of markets with remarkable efficiency, and for years, that capability set the industry standard. That strength eventually became a constraint. In a feature phone world, this model worked perfectly. Phones were tools. Differentiation came from durability, battery life, and form factor. Software mattered, but it played a supporting role. Nokia excelled in that environment. But as mobile technology evolved, the center of value began to shift. Phones were becoming computing platforms. Software was no longer an accessory. It was becoming the primary driver of user experience. Applications, operating systems, and interfaces began shaping how people interacted with their devices every day. This shift required a different kind of organization, one that could move quickly, unify product vision across hardware and software, and make bold, simplifying decisions. Nokia struggled to do this at scale. Its size introduced friction. Decision-making became distributed across regions, product lines, and technical teams. No single group owned the entire experience. Hardware teams optimized for efficiency. Software teams worked within inherited systems. Regional teams prioritized local market needs. Each decision made sense in isolation. Together, they created complexity. Nokia attempted to pursue multiple software strategies at the same time. Legacy platforms coexisted with newer initiatives. Internal alignment slowed. Progress required coordination across more layers than the market would tolerate. From inside the company, this complexity did not appear dangerous. Nokia was still highly profitable. Market share remained enormous. The supply chain continued to outperform competitors. Simplification felt risky. Reducing device variation threatened regional strength. Standardizing software risked alienating partners. Moving too quickly risked destabilizing a system that was still working. Stability was rewarded. Predictability was trusted. Change was treated as something to manage carefully rather than pursue aggressively. Many of the challenges Nokia faced were invisible while the company was winning. Its scale allowed it to absorb inefficiencies. Its market share masked delays. Its operational strength compensated for internal friction. When performance is strong, organizations rarely feel urgency. Processes that slow decision-making feel acceptable. Coordination costs feel manageable. Over time, those systems harden. Teams become specialized. Responsibilities fragment. Decision paths lengthen. Each layer is added for a good reason, and each safeguard solves a real problem. But those same safeguards make rapid change difficult once the environment shifts. When software platforms began redefining the industry, Nokia was not unable to respond. It was constrained by systems designed for stability rather than speed. By the time the cost of complexity became visible, reversing it required more than strategy. It required dismantling processes that had once been essential. That kind of change is rarely fast, and markets rarely wait. Platforms reward something different. They reward focus. Smartphone ecosystems require clear direction. Developers need consistency. Users expect experiences that feel unified and intuitive. While competitors simplified their platforms, Nokia remained fragmented. Software evolved slowly. User experience decisions required negotiation across many layers. Hardware innovation often outpaced the software that powered it. Meanwhile, consumer expectations accelerated. Phones were no longer just communication devices. They were becoming personal computers, entertainment hubs, and digital extensions of everyday life. Speed began to matter more than coverage. Experience mattered more than optionality. Nokia still controlled enormous market share, but market share was no longer the right metric. The industry was reorganizing around ecosystems rather than volume. By the time Nokia moved decisively to simplify its strategy, momentum had shifted. Developers had committed elsewhere. Consumers had formed habits. Competitors had defined new expectations. Nokia's scale made it powerful, but that same scale made change slow. The company did not fail because it lacked talent or technology. It failed because its operating model was optimized for a market that no longer existed. Nokia was built to dominate a fragmented hardware landscape. It was not built to compete in a unified software platform world. In the end, Nokia's decline was not sudden. It was gradual, predictable, and structural. When a company runs a market for too long, its systems become optimized for stability, and stability resists reinvention. Nokia's story is not about missing innovation. It is about what happens when success creates complexity, and complexity delays clarity. Because in fast-moving industries, dominance can slow you down. And when speed becomes the advantage, even market leaders can fall behind.